All right, we're going to talk about why peace is so important in the home. I have the peace pillars is the very beginning of my program because I believe that both men and women, I teach men, of course, to create a safe environment for their wife. However, I think both men and women need to know it's peaceful, need to know that particularly because they want to be able to stop walking on eggshells so that they can be most authentically themselves, unjudged. What was the phrase you used to say?
Unapologetically be.
Just want to be unapologetically yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about why peace is so important. Let's talk about a whole lot to do with security. Okay. So a lot of times, one of the number one things that I'll hear from a man who's been fighting with his wife or who's just interested in my program is, I've never hit her. Dude, that's like saying you've never cheated. Who the fuck cares? That should be normal. Okay. We understand people all make mistakes. I certainly was quite abusive. I didn't punch you in the face, but I was abusive enough.
A lot of physical intimidation.
Physical intimidation.
Words.
Broke the couch that you were sitting on.
Threw stuff.
Flipped the bed over. Smashed the house. Like, I was physical enough. I might as well have punched her in the face. And so when you start justifying that you don't do anything, that also pertains to the words that you use. What we talked about in the last podcast, where we were talking about the different tones, the body language, pacing, sneer face. All of these things play an emotional toll, which I dare say is worse than being punched in the face. That's just.
I sometimes used to wish, and I don't mean this, I don't want to compare it to it because I know some women really go through a lot of physical abuse.
Yeah,
and so, of course, I wouldn't rather physical abuse, but there were times when it was so emotionally terrifying in my home that I just wished he would just hit me and stop like berating me. Mm-hmm. It would have been, I know it wouldn't have been easier. So I don't want any of it to happen. But sometimes emotional abuse can be so bad, you just wish that it was a punch instead.
I think
at least I did.
That's such a valuable point when you're thinking about the overall peace in your home, right? Like, everybody thinks their story is the worst. You know, I don't know where we're at, like almost 4,000 couples now, right? Like, and everybody thinks their story is unique and that it's the worst. I can tell you this, hands down, with all the men in my program, they look at the other guy's story and wish the roles were reversed. Typically, that's